Batteries. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the shop. This is my attached garage. We're going to talk about batteries today. Talk about cleaning batteries too. Let me show you what we're working on. So it's my lovely wife's car. There it is. You can see the meter. Now it's fully charged battery. 12.65 volts. And if you remember from the last presentation that we talked about, that's pretty much a fully charged battery. Now, battery looks pretty clean. I mean, there is some corrosion over here. See it over here? Green crap along the side. Well, that needs to be cleaned off. But I want to clean the top of the battery too. And here's the reason why. I'm gonna hook up my positive lead to my positive post. And then I'm just going to touch the plastic case. I have 9 volts flowing through the plastic case. And the closer I get to the positive terminal, the further I get away from the negative terminal, the less voltage there is. See? So the goal is to stop that with cleaning the battery, the top of the battery. Also, I want to clean the terminals up and make sure those are nice and tight. And I want to, see if I can check the water on these guys. I might do that as a separate video. I think I'm going to do that as a separate video. But I want to clean this up. Now, one of the things I have to be very careful of is when I, come on, baby, stay there. When I disconnect the battery, the car's going to lose power. Now, that's going to wipe out a bunch of memories, like, the radio and the air conditioning. And for the most part, it's usually not a big, huge deal. But, we can run into a theft lock on a radio, which we don't have the code to override or turn the radio back on. We can also run into some drivability issues due to the computers in the car, like the engine control and the trans controller and the IPC losing power. They lose this memory of what they've learned, and that can make the car actually run kind of weird. Shift weird, idle weird, might die at lights. So that's why I got a thing, and this is how I do it. There's a couple different ways to do this. Is I have this guy. Now, all this is just a good sized battery. It's not a full size battery, but it's a 12 volt battery with some leads on it, and it's got a fuse on it in case I mess up. And I'm actually going to connect this into the fuse box. Let me turn on the light. There we go. And that's over here. I open up this fuse box. There's actually a nice spot to hook this up. So I'm going to hook this up. Positive to positive. Goes right to one of these little clips right here. And then negative to negative, I'm going to come up over here. And make sure I get a decent connection on it. Now, I have a backup 12 volts. I have another battery. So when I disconnect this, you have to remember that the positive cable is still alive. So I'm going to wrap it in a rag. That is what I'm going to do. Okay, so here. You can watch me change this. Oopsie. So I'm going to disconnect the negative first. And I'm going to disconnect the positive second. Okay, now that I've got this off, I'm going to grab just a rag to put it in for a second. And I'm going to remove this negative cable. Now you can see there's a whole bunch of, just kind of crap around it. Now there's a whole bunch of things that we could use to clean the top of the battery, and a lot of people say, oh, use, there's some special battery cleaners. Or what you could use is literally baking soda and water. I mean, baking soda that's like, in your refrigerator, sucking up the fish smells, or from dinner a couple of nights ago. And that's all fine and well and great, but this battery is vented, so it actually, during the chemical process of charging and discharging, it releases some hydrogen gas. Remember, we talked about this. So the last thing I want is for that baking soda to get inside the battery. And we've talked about this. So here. Okay, so I kind of got the top of the battery cleaned off. And then I also have this guy, which is a battery terminal cleaner. And if you notice, this thing has a direction to the bristles. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm not going to, when I put this thing on here, I'm just going to turn it in one direction. I'm not going to go back and forth. You just turn it one way. Do that a couple of times. Makes it all nice and shiny. Come over here, do the same thing with the negative terminal. That's about it. Battery's fairly clean, except for underneath. Okay. Should have had one out. Underneath these removable caps. These caps can come off. There it is. Here are the vents. It's up underneath this green cap right here. So I generally don't flood my battery, especially using baking soda. So I'm just going to kind of clean that off. And then right around where these caps go in, I want to be very, very careful because I don't want any of this crud to go down in there. And then I put the cap back on. Now, the other side's a little more problematic, so I'll do that after I'm done making this little video. So now I got to clean off. I'll clean clean the negative one first. This brush. There's another brush on the other side. It's got this one, and it's got this one. So I'm just going to kind of come in here. Oopsie. Now this one isn't very dirty on the outside, but I'm just going to clean up on the inside, because that is kind of dirty. There we go. Now, putting these clamps back on. We see these clamps are tapered. Okay, they're tapered from the bottom. They're bigger on the bottom and smaller on the top. So I want to make sure that this is all the way down. I want to make sure it's all the way good and down, and the top of the post should actually stick up out of the clamp a little bit. Because if it's not, this guy isn't going to tighten very well. Oopsie. Let me disconnect the negative one before I put the positive one on. We don't want to over tighten these either. I just want to get it tight enough so that when I move this, they don't wiggle. So as long as they're that tight, we're good. Then I'm going to take off, disconnect my little battery guy. And we should be good to go. Pretty easy. You could do this yourself with the stuff you got laying around your house. Cool?